Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? It's time to be here for Tactical Tuesday. We're going to talk a little bit of tactics, mainly gear, and a little bit more because tonight's topic is security camera. What's out there? And yes, I was being punny with the what's out there. How's everybody doing? Oh, there we go. I was hiding from the camera. Let's see who else here and say hello to everybody. Got some more coming in. All right, so first one in was Walt Rogers, and you guys are being punny too. I see you, and he had a little motion picture camera there. And Troop 1351 was next, saying watching you. Mother Earth Garden Club came in. Phantom Clan Wolf is peekaboo. Let's see, Angels Homestead, just what I needed. Geeky Gardens, Moon over Miami, Diana 2. It's the Marshmallow Man. All right. So I've got some information here, and I actually someone was emailed me, asked me some questions on top of this, and so I've been trying to dig some information out for them, but I didn't get as much as I wanted to, but I did get some good tidbits here. I was going to try to break down prices and stuff, and looks like Mark's here at Mad Chick Acres. And, when you have the grandkids over a whole bunch, it gets kind of hard to concentrate on doing certain things. All righty, so let's get over here. And I'm going to go through this stuff here. All right, so some of the things you got to consider when dealing with this. And that is, what is your budget? How much do you have to spend on it? And how much do you really want to spend on it? All right. And are you worried about your security system getting hacked? Because some of them are web-based, some of them are Wi-Fi, some of them are Bluetooth. So there's different things on that. And so there's the web-based is kind of a broad spectrum for this. It's anything that's not closed. A closed system is you got your camera. Hang on, let me switch up here. Where you got one camera here, and you got your monitor here, and it's wired connected. Whether there's a multiplexer in between there or not, the multiplexer takes multiple camera feeds and gives you either multiple pictures like this up here, or it gives you one big picture like that there, and you can pick between the other pictures which one you want to watch. So that's what a multiplexer does. And so a web-based can include a multiplexer, but a closed system is wired, hardwired, and nobody can hack into it unless they get up there and they start clipping on stuff. But then they only see what the one camera's looking at, and there's a good chance you're going to find it anyways. The other thing is, do you want it recorded? And some multiplexers have built-in hard drives with a burner on it, and some of the internet-based ones, they have a burner, or they record it, and then they can download it for you, or you can download it and then burn it onto record it onto your computer, or burn it onto a DVD or whatever else. You also need to figure out, do you want outside views or inside, or both? Is it going to be a stationary camera looking one way and one way only, and that's all it does? Or is it what's called PTZ, or tilt, or pan, tilt, zoom? Does it have infrared? Can it see at night? Does it have audio? Is the audio one way or two way? And So those are some of the things you need to think about. So up here and go to the next one here. All right, so so this is a tilt, pan, zoom camera. As you can see, it moving, and what you I don't even see it there, but around it, there's a bunch of row of dots around it. Those are infrared LEDs to light it up. So this one covers a bunch. Next one here. And then there's the old-fashioned ones that do this too: tilt, pan, zoom, and they can track somebody with them. And all those little dots in there are for the LED. Other than the red one, those other ones are infrared to give you night vision. I'm going to run through some basic ones here. So down here on the bottom, it shows what the camera is in the viewing area. And it depends how much coverage you want to have too. Hey, Prepper 101, how's it going? It depends on how much coverage you want to have as to how many cameras you need to install. And so here there's a combination of outside and inside. They got 2 inside and they got 4 outside. All right. So you got to kind of look and figure, do I need some inside? Do I need some outside? And, covering entryways or what not. Here's a more convoluted one here. But it has a big house, driveway coming up to it, parking area and stuff like that. And anyway, so they got a bunch of different ones with some with overlapping fields. And the idea is this one is basically that you can't approach the house without being caught by one camera or another. Okay. And so I've never been able to figure. I found this picture. There was no explanation. I have a feeling the red ones might be infrared. I don't know, but nice. And here's some basic ones. Basic observation. You have one on each corner, all facing the same direction. So the one at the top here covers the back of the one on the left. However, depending on on the wideness of the camera, there's areas where you can still walk up to it and not get caught. And then you add a couple more cameras for what they call observe and identify. And still there's areas that are not being covered. Even with this one says no blind spots. Now, the one that says no blind spots, I found several blind spots where I can walk up on it without being seen. Most notably, straight from this camera on the far left up here near the top, coming in straight from the side. But hey, Tammy Harder, how's it going? So anyways, but you got to figure out and lay out a plan on how you want visibility. And just because you put a camera aiming one way doesn't mean you see everything in that way. Cameras generally have a field of view, and to maintain a proper perspective when you see it on the monitor, it's not all fish-eyed and all stretched and trying to figure out what it is and giving you a headache trying to figure out how it works. So there's a bunch of different ones to do. They got inside. This one has a lot of inside and outside cameras, aiming all over the place. And so looking at it, they got just about every access point covered, but one. Yeah, I see one hole. There's only one hole I can find on it. And with that hole, I can start taking down cameras left and right. But hey, I learned to think like a thief, when I was a cop, to figure out how's a thief's going to break into here to look at it. But anyways, and I think and the corner to corner, the corner to corner will work if you have a moving camera that's hidden in one of those bubbles, so they can't, someone away from can't tell which way the camera is aiming as it's sweeping the area. And that's the thing. If you have one that moves all the time, it needs power to move all the time, and yeah, and you got, so that's, you got to have power out to it more than just activating the camera. And if it's wireless, then it's gonna, whatever type of battery setup it has, that battery's not going to last too long unless you have a little solar panel with it. And we'll look at some of those here in a little bit here on the internet. Let me go ahead and close that down and bring up the next thing here. All right. So I did some looking for, and this is, oh, hey, Utah Mike. And this is for the person that was asking me particularly and emailing me about questions about a property they have. There are cellular security monitoring systems and cellular cameras. All right. So I Googled cellular security monitoring, and it talks about it, and it lists how it works. And things with it is that at first it's counting on the property having power. So you have like a cabin out in the middle of nowhere that doesn't have power, or like Mark does with his cabin. He brings up a portable power station to have power there. If you have a cellular camera, it's going to run the battery down real quick. You need to have some sort of solar panel or some way of charging it up to get power to it. Now the AI here on Google search, and when I look at it here, it says froze examples of companies that offer cellular monitoring: ADT, Vivint, VIVINT, Simply Safe, Cove Security, it's COVE, and FrontPoint are the four that they mentioned here. And some of the drawbacks, it says cost cellular monitoring may come with higher monthly fee compared to other options. There are hybrid systems, and cellular things. Another consideration is make sure there's a strong cellular signal at the location you want to do things from. So those are some of the things to look for on it. And then as you go down, there are other sponsored ones other than what the AI put up there. I have a feeling that the AI ones are companies that advertise with Google. But there are some other ones here. What's it one called? Sensera. SENSERA Systems Inc. It's another one. Security.org. Some other ones and stuff. But there are other ones to look for. Absolute Automation. Now there are. You go to the other page and bring this up here. Now, if you Google cellular security cameras, you get all these ones come up, 24/7 dual 4K camera systems, $500, $200 for one that has a solar panel with it, so that wants to do it. Here's a 4-pack with solar panels for the cameras for $1,000, solar panel and 4G. Here's a cheaper one for $150 with solar panel for the camera. So there are different ones, and of course, there are the cellular trail cams, which are a little bit cheaper. This is a 3-pack for $150. So there are a bunch of different options depending on what you want. Now the cellular trail cams don't activate until something or somebody comes into view. Then it activates and it pings. I'm trying to remember who it was. Ridge Life? I think it might be Ridge Life. He does hog hunting on the side, and he has the cellular trail cam set up around the big cage where he traps the hogs in. And so when the hogs are in there, he gets a ping of it. He can watch the hogs go in and out of the cage, and he can remotely drop the doors on the cage to catch them. So yeah, there's another, so Reolink has solar charging on it, and that's the one right here. No, one right here. It has a solar panel on it as well. So, and that's the thing is, to going with the company to find out, does it do motion sensor as well? That's the other thing, motion sensor. So like a trail cam, it sends a ping when something walks into the view and stuff. Some of the other ones don't. They just offer constant monitoring, like this up here, where it's constantly on, constantly watching, and it doesn't go, oh, somebody's here. So there are options on it. This one here is solar powered. It says a solar panel on top of it, and so there are other option ones here to look at as far as what they can do. There's another Reolink one. This one is solar as well. So you want to find out what, if you're going to be doing this, you want to find out, and you want it to be, cellular hookup and stuff, because it's out in a remote location or someplace that doesn't have power or someplace that doesn't have a landline. And that's what some of them use. Some of them use landline phones to send a signal. Others are hooked up to our internet base, which means if it's internet hooked up, it's either on DHL, cable, fiber optics, whatever internet you have going in there. And even if, or like me, I have a direct radio communications to the fiber optic tower on the other side of the highway in the little town of Firth, on top of their water tower. So I got straight to them, and it gives me pretty good internet capability. I'm able to live stream on it. So, but there's all of these require power, and if the power goes out, your system goes out unless it's designed to run on. Lee's here, Cold War prepper. Hey, it's I'm sorry, I just read Angel's Homestead. In other words, I'm over my head. No, you just got to figure out, okay, this sounds good. I'm going to call this company and ask questions. Do not commit to anything. And they say, well, give us the ability to try to pressure you. Hey, my husband says I can't. He says all I can do is look for information. Or my wife said no. She said I can get information, but I got to go back and talk to her. I'm not allowed to sign up for anything on my own. That kind of just makes them makes the salesman slow down and try to give you all the good information. You got that? Write that down. And they try to give you all the information then and send you docket information and stuff like that. So so when you're doing security cameras, there's a lot of things you got to look into. Like I mentioned at the beginning, your budget's going to be a big one. If you don't have the budget for it, you got to back off. Now, that if you're going hardwired in your place and you just want to see what's going on out in the front yard and stuff, or like with me, I want to see what's going on out on the big cement driveway with the grandkids, then you can go to Harbor Freight and get something like this. And I have, I don't know, 3 dozen of these for my haunted house that I used to do. I got 4 of these I haven't even opened up yet. And I do have a couple of wireless ones I was using over the other house, so because I didn't want to run wires inside the house. So I just, put a camera here, drop the cord down and plugged it in the corner room or whatever. And so I could see what the grandkids were doing when my daughter and son-in-law took off, and I was upstairs in my office bedroom over there before we bought this house. So yeah, these things here, like this one here. So yeah, it's called plug and play on your existing TV. It just plugs into back if you have there it is, the RCA plugs on it. It gives you the sound and audio. Oh, and it's infrared too. It's color. And it just has the one cable that runs out. And the cable, what's interesting about it here, that is a phone jack. So you can use phone wire to extend it if it's not long enough. So, and I've done that. I've ran some of these out a couple hundred feet to be able to view stuff. Oh, it's weatherproof too. So, and they're really cool. But there are a bunch of other ones. I have. I've ordered a bunch of them off of Amazon back in the day, and oh, you're stirring things up there, Lee. JFK documentation has been released. Yeah. So yeah, when you're looking at it, let me go ahead and drop this down here. If anybody wants to come up and talk about the system they have, if they're willing to do that. But most of the stuff is like, what's neat is the new big Hisense and ONN monitors and stuff. You look at the sides, you see all your HDMI inputs and USB and stuff. On the bottom of them, where most people don't look, is your okay, Mark can't come up, he's on a work call. They have for your stuff like hooking up a Wii, where you got like 5 or 6 things to plug in, including sound, video, and stuff like that. They have the built-in options so you can have a monitor hooked up to it, and you have it set up so your outside thing just sends you a little text, or you're like, bing, something spotted, and you just pick up your remote, aim it at the TV, and go to that input and see what's going on outside. Or you have one of them mounted up on the wall in the heavily trafficked area, such as the dining room / kitchen area, so it can be seen from both rooms there, and it's like, anybody can see what's going on outside, and you can use a multiplexer on it, which divides it up like this. That's a mega multiplexer, but simple multiplexers, you get simple cheap ones that divide by 4. And actually, I'm going to bring that up here for you. Hang on a second here. Amazon CCTV multiplexer. Boom. All I had to type in was CCTV MU, and it popped up. Multiplexer. And there's a whole bunch. Oh, $52. And this has a 4-channel. And some of them have the BNC is a twist lock type connector for some cameras. 12-channel one for $200. That's a little bit much. 4-channel one. And let me just pull this one up just to show you what, see if it shows the back. So this is what the front looks like. So you got your different cameras, and you can move them the different way. I don't know if it's going to be kind of small for you out there, but there's the ones that have the arrows underneath them there. Up above shows which, how it's going to show up on the multiplexer. And then you can also just pick one to be the primary one you want to view. Let's see what we got here. So that's that. Same thing. Come on, show the back. There's the back. These are BNC connections on it, but they have adapters to go to, some of them have the RCA speaker type plug adapters on them. But yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. Like this one here is a 16 channel one. Like I said, it all depends on how much you want to do with it. And I want to take a look at this one here. This one says BNC out, but doesn't say what the in is. And it's BNC. They're going to, I don't know why they're going to BNC, because all the cameras, or at least the majority of the cameras, have the the speaker type output things on them. Yeah, so yeah, there's a mini quad one, and it looks like it has. Yeah, see, it's got the speaker type, RCA speaker type inputs on it, and then you pick up which channel you want. You can do quad or you can do auto. The quad shows 4 pictures. Auto shows 1, then another one, then another one, then another one. It goes back, and you can set that which ones you want to do, which ones you don't want to do by that little red and white thing in the bottom there. So there are, and you got remotes for it. So it's an easy setup. This one does not do sound. So the more expensive ones then would have like I have some other ones that have multiple things on there for sound and not. Try to see one that has sound and with audio. See if that brings up anything different. Let's see what this one looks like here, folks. Yeah, so that has the 4 audio. It has the 4 cameras and the 4 audio. So whichever camera you're looking at or you bring up specifically, it'll bring up the audio for that camera. Shady Hill Homestead, welcome. Yeah, yeah, that works too. Not all of us have dogs. All right. I wasn't sure you wanted to put that out there. Hang on here. All right. So yeah, there are some good ones. Like see, this is what the multiplexer view is. You got channel 1 in the upper left, channel 2 upper right, and it goes down through all the through the different ones there, so you can see the different views and stuff. And so, very simple one. That'll work on that, and you got audio for it. So there are some there are some great do-it-yourself ones, and you can let's see here. It's that one. Go ahead and close that one off. Close that one off. Get back to here. And some of them come with a camera system on it. So you got with 4 channel, 4 cameras, wired CCTV, 500 gigabyte hard drive, 1080p full audio and visual recording, 130-foot infrared night vision, So this one here, let's look at that one. So it says, you know, this is a wired system. And so it's got the there. So day and night, 24/7 recording, motion detection. So pick up people or cars moving in, and remote monitoring and playback as well. So, oh, and it has a $15 coupon on it right now. So, yeah. So you have the your spools of wire there, and interesting. Comes with the mounting hardware. Everything comes with a mouse for the unit down here. So like I said, there are different systems out there, and you can look around and work on it. But you know, if you have something like you're doing a remodel and you want something out there, hang on here. A small battery unit like this one here, and it's at 100%. It's been sitting here on the desk for 3 months, still at 100%. I've done videos on this before. So I've run my other cameras out recording for days at a time, you know, with doing the time lapse and stuff, and just a regular full length recording of a construction going on. And, you know, so you can have, if you have some cameras plugged in, it can help supplement it, or it's like some have the solar on top of it. You put it in an area that's visible, that's hard to get at, that's watching the areas where someone's breaking in or something, or vandalizing property. That way you can, you know, something happens and you can go call the police immediately and say, hey, someone just broke into my property out here, blah, 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 blah. And it helps if you contact dispatch beforehand on the non-emergency line and let them know what's going on. And that way, when someone does break into your property, it's like, yeah, someone's breaking in over here at this place here where we're doing construction. You know, they just went in there. They haven't come out. I'm watching it on TV. They're in the house right now without permission. They broke in on this window on this side of the house. And, you know, you say, hey, they're still in there. Cops go, ooh, goody, we can catch them. And they'll, you know, when they get out there, then, you know, they'll, you know, hook them up. And once they start hooking one or two of them up, all of a sudden it's like, oh, crap, cops are watching this place. Let's go someplace else to vandalize. Okay, and okay, there's the Ring, there is Roku, and there's several other doorbell systems that are hooked up for internet and stuff like that, and for phone stuff. You know, so Lee's not sure if you'll have it after everything comes down. There is intranet, not internet, that you can have for all your cameras and stuff, and it works Wi-Fi, it works Bluetooth, so you can still have it. You switch over to an intranet system that radio basically kind of turns it to wireless for where, you know, for using in your house, so you can, what's going on outside, and you can see what's going on outside using your Ring doorbell and cameras and stuff like that. You can check with Ring. They may have a system set to work when the power goes off. Hey, Lewis.
Hey.
And so, yeah, if you for Lee, that'd be, you know, you find out if they have a system that'll work when the power is out. Now they may have a system that works, but it's got to have you know, it'll work for only so long without power. But if you have your solar panel system, boom, and I think I think you're just about totally off grid, aren't you, Lee? So you're going to have power, so it should still be able to work, and you get them to work it so it works on an intranet or strictly Wi-Fi within your house and stuff, so you can do that way when everything else around is dead. Same thing from Mother Earth Garden Club. Hers are web-based too. Yeah, so check with your providers. There might be they might have a modular that plugs into it.
Lie down.
What was that?
Lie down.
I didn't catch that. You're Mr. Roboto. So yeah, you're really bad on the audio. It sounds worse than Max Headroom.
I'll call back.
All right. All right. So yeah, Lee has plenty of solar. So yeah, if you can get it set up where it actually has, besides has the internet based side, it has a Wi-Fi base for working around the house, so you can have using your phone on the Wi-Fi to monitor your cameras. That gives you another base right there, another option there to work it. So the way technology is making advancements in CCTV is amazing. So there is options out there. There's probably options that all of us here haven't even heard of, because the companies aren't, the companies have it, but they'll only talk about it to potential customers to try to get the customers on board. You're not going to see them advertising it to let all the bad guys know what are out there. And not many bad guys will call a security company and say, well, I'm thinking about getting this, and just to find out what's out there. They generally aren't that, they don't want to expose themselves that much. Yeah. Yeah. So there's some that are totally internet based, and there's other ones which I prefer. Like I said, I like mine totally. I have total control over it. It's hardwired. Ain't nobody hacking it. And like I said, I got some of those totes that are, I got 2 totes full of cameras from my haunted house. And so once we get everything squared up here, then we're going to start throwing up that, so we can watch grandkids, see where they are on the property here, and put a couple of the wireless ones across the street so I can see where they are over there. All right, let's see what you got. Give me a count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, that came in good. Yeah. So when you're thinking about one of these systems, you got to justify your budget expense on it versus what's going on in your area. If you're in an area and you check with the local police and no house has gotten broken into in that area in the last 10 years, it may be hard to justify. You may want to put your stuff on you may get a small, simple system and put the rest of the money, onto something else. But if you find out, like, oh yeah, you got the neighbor 4 doors down was robbed last week. The neighbor across the street 2 doors down was hit 4 days ago. The neighbor around the street was hit yesterday. Yeah, then you might want to invest in a good security system. Yeah,
that's about the only thing stopping me from getting a security system is having that happen. Yeah. I got the dog, right? So it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
With that.
Noisy dogs are good at letting criminals know that, hey, there's a dog in here. And if you got a couple of them, they hear several dogs in there. If it's not, I hate to say it, but Chihuahuas and Papillons, and what's the other the little yappers? All right, the little yappers. You know, okay, that's a little itty bitty dog. I can't remember which. Oh, like a basset hound though. Let someone know what a basset hound. Basset hound's not that big, but they got a deep bark.
Yeah,
Hey,
I got a
Happy
great
Mac.
Pyrenees.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I got a
Pyrenees.
great Pyrenees. Yeah, and I swear by them, and I've had them for about 10 years now, and got one right now, but they bark a lot, and they are very protective of their surroundings. But I do recommend getting them at about a month and a half to 2 months old, so that they can,
Yeah.
because you can for training, right? Because it takes about 2 years to get properly trained, either to your house or to your livestock.
Yeah. And you know, the younger you get them, the more they key in on you. Before you even start training, they key on you as, oh, this is my food supplier, this is my cuddler. I'm going to protect him anyways. But yeah, ankle biters are evil. That goes two ways on that. Happy Mac, that can be the four-legged type or the little two-legged type. Because when my grandkids were little, they were evil.
Yeah, my last Great Pyrenees, I've seen them get into coyote fights and that, and go after groundhogs, raccoons, porcupines. You pretty much name it out here. Yeah. And aside from that, I've only seen his hair go up maybe 2 or 3 times at people.
Yeah.
One of those times, the person was coming over a fence and didn't realize that my dog could turn vicious just like that.
Yep. All right, Utah Mike. That is a prime example where you need to have a motion activated alert system where someone's breaking into the home and it pings the cell phones. And if they have a service like ADT, it alerts ADT someone's in the house, and ADT can call the cops when they see someone in the house. They have them where the motion sensor, you turn it on at night when you go to bed, or that you turn it on when nobody's in the house, and you get home, you enter the code and turn the motion sensor off. So that way, like if you have a system like ADT or one of the other ones, and that way they know, okay, they turned on the motion sensor system on it, and they know that when it pings off, okay, we got a problem. Aiden here, welcome. So I hope I got plenty of information out there for everybody and gave you guys ideas and possibilities to start thinking out. And you can start looking, if you want to start looking at companies, you can look at their web pages first before you talk to anybody. And they have, generally a lot of them list the different types of systems they have or the different components, so you can put stuff together to create your own system, under their track with them, whatever. Yeah, if you're worried about that, that will give you peace of mind. Dang it, I forgot to put that in there in my other thing here. Yeah. And that's the thing, if you have alerts being sent to you, then if even if you're not with a system, but it sends it to you get a text or a ping to look at it. That way you can call the cops and say, yeah, I am watching the guy right now. He's in the bedroom. He's clearing out my jewelry. That son of a gun has my, and you tell the cops, and they get, that way they know, get there now, the guy's on site.
I seen America has them a lot. Those doorbell cameras.
Yeah, the Ring system. And Roku has been pushing it big time. The systems of the entire camera system, not just the doorbell, but the whole thing, so you can see it on your Roku TV. So, which means that you can also see it on your phone too. Let me check. Did I put it up here? I was thinking about adding something to the list up here. I want to make sure whether I did it or not. Yeah, okay, I did put it on there. Up in July, I have the title for Tactical Tuesday in July is what 10 preps help you sleep at night. And this would be one of those preps that would help you sleep at night.
A Great Pyrenees dog because they're nocturnal.
Yeah. No one recognizes the alert in the middle of the night. My wife got pissed at me, and she didn't tell me that it was. So I was, all right. She's in bed, all right. I can send her on Facebook. I can send her some of the send her some of the reels and Messenger and stuff. She didn't tell me she had her phone set to ping every time she got a message, even at night. Next morning she goes, "What are you going to do?" I go, "Why? You're asleep in bed." "Yeah, my phone's waking me up." I go, "Why do you have your phone setting when you're getting a Facebook notification? You're not going to get up and look at it. You need to turn the Facebook notification off." Or set hours on it so when you're in bed, it doesn't ping you. "Well, my girlfriend's got when they ping me, I want, it's like, yeah, don't complain to me about that. So I think I covered everything. Anybody have any other questions or any thoughts? So I may have had information hidden in the back of my brain that I needed to be triggered by a question.
Yeah, I think that the best part of it all, of getting something like that, is for your own protection.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find something here. I'm not sure where I put it. I know where it is on the other one here.
Like even me, with me living in Canada, I don't know all the rules of owning a dog and somebody breaking into my house and my dog biting them, right? But that would be nice to have the video cameras there to at least say, yeah, they were breaking in and my dog. Well, yeah, listen, who wouldn't feel threatened? In the middle of the night, having your house broken into, who wouldn't feel threatened?
Yeah. All right, I got some pictures to show you guys here. Let me jump over here because we're running out of time. I want to show these. All right, so this was for a haunted house where our operator sat to run all the controls for all the animatronics and everything. And you can see four of the TVs here set up. Each TV has a let me see if I can zoom in there on it. So there's 2 multiplexers there. And this little one here has a multiplexer built into it. This one is sitting on a multiplexer. I mean, it has multiplexer hooked up to it. And let me go to the next picture here. And so here's another multiplexer right over here on that one there. You can see it all hooked up just to a TV monitor. There's another TV monitor that had one on it. So yeah, there's a multiplexer right down there. Nice little, that's a Clover. I have a lot of Clover cameras that I had all the time. And so, yeah, so the guys would sit up here and they could watch everything going on throughout the haunted house. And then they could activate different things like Dracula's stuff, the coffin, strobe lights. But yeah, they could activate everything in the haunted house. Oh, 2 ads. Has anybody else been? Oh, all right. Utah Mike got ads. Mother Earth just got an ad, and Diana, is that the first ads you guys have gotten since it started? I hope that's the first ads. I haven't seen anybody complain about ads before. Yeah, I don't see anybody complaining about ads. Good. I hope those are the only ads you guys have gotten because we're almost to the end of it. So it said, oh, time to throw more ads out. Well, that's a little bit better there. Some game slot. Oh, I hate those things. They are so, those ads for those game slots are so friggin' loud. Actually, we nickeled and dimed it. This was back when Radio Shack was still around. And Utah Mike had one earlier. Geeky Gardens haven't had any ads. See, I was buying these things at Harbor Freight for where their regular price when I was buying them was $19. I was getting them on sale for $9, and when it was on sale, I'd buy 4 or 5 at a time. And like I said, I got a big tote full of cameras and wires and stuff. So there is, so like the stuff I had in there, we replaced the big old boxy TVs with the flat screens at the time, because we had a entertainment center that worked better with a flat screen. So we bought a 32-inch flat screen, put in there, and we started replacing the other TVs. And so rather than throwing them out, we used them for that. And I got most of these out in my cargo container too. So when I start setting stuff up, I have the same little TVs to put up on the wall here to watch stuff. Take a look back here, make sure I didn't. Okay, yeah, I didn't miss any more. But yeah, there are options out there, and there are probably, like I said, there are probably more options than what I've discussed tonight. You got to check with the companies themselves because they may have options that that I couldn't find just with a cursory search of the websites I was looking at. All right, so coming up here, Thursday night for the midnight ride is it's the first day of spring, so we may be talking about that. But I got some other interesting stuff going on here, news-wise for you guys. Friday night on the homestead on Camp Patton, we're going to be talking, gardening and planning gardening some more because, hey, things are warming up in certain areas. Even though we just went cold again, we got warm weather coming back out for us again. So, and when we close that off and look at that. And so, yeah, we got warmer weather coming back. We're climbing into the upper 40s here, which is unusual for this time of the year here. Ooh, Monday we're at 56. Holy, be still my heart. It's a heat wave. It's 56 degrees Fahrenheit on Monday. Oh, all right. Anyway, so that's what we're talking gardening on Friday. Saturday for after the event is after China's economy collapses. What are your plans? So we'll be talking about that. Next Monday on Camp Patton is what is siphoning? We'll talk about canning and what causes siphoning, ways to avoid it, how bad siphoning is when it happens. Can you get by without having to recan the jar? We'll talk all about that stuff then. And next Tuesday here, we're going into first aid training. So, first aid training is coming up next Tuesday. All right. Oh, Tammy, harder. Oh, no. Oh, I just got chilled. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming in. Lois, thank you for coming in and sharing about your dogs and how they help you. So, besides, I'm sorry. I just had a unauthorized thought about dogs and Angels Homestead's house under construction that the people are breaking into. Get some fight dogs and leave them in. I don't know where the dogs came from. Anyways, thanks for coming in, everybody. And remember, Try to learn a new skill every month. Try to do an indoor garden until it's time to go outdoors. And yeah, stay safe, and we'll see you hopefully Thursday for the midnight ride. And we're going to end.